I know that a lot of us have been told that the point of marriage is to find love. It's to find the one. And it's not that that isn't true. It's not that we're not supposed to look for love. And it's not that I don't want you to be searching for love and romance in your relationship. It's just that I think that marriage serves a much bigger goal than just the way we understand the LOVE word. Because I don't want to say it's a bigger goal than love, because I think love in and of itself is something that we often don't explore, we don't understand, we don't know what its purpose and its role is. And the reason I bring this up is because whenever you have a relationship between two people who come together, you're going to have issues, you're going to have struggles, you're going to have some problems. But if in your mind you kept thinking all the time that the goal in and of itself was love, and what I mean by that was simply the emotion and feeling of being in love, that the goal of marriage was that you would always feel, in love, you would always feel feelings of love, you would always feel happy, you would always feel attracted to each other, then you've missed something. And when you miss that big something, you're going to perhaps be in a lot more suffering and pain and misery and have a lot more disappointment and hurt, simply because you're not seeing the bigger picture. So I want to invite you right now to consider, what is the greater purpose of marriage and love? Assalamu alaikum, this is Megan Wyatt, founder of Wives of Jannah. And, I work with women all the time in coaching, and I work with couples in coaching, and of course I interact with a lot of you on my Facebook page and in my email list and people that have opted in for my ebooks. And of course, being someone that helps people in relationships, I'm going to hear about problems all the time. And that's not an issue. What I'm really looking at is, and of course we're going to have issues, right? Because we're humans, we struggle. But the thing that keeps popping up for me is just this idea that I guess it's just sort of the surprise that marriage would be this hard, or the surprise that, your spouse would let you down, or the surprise that, just things didn't go the way you wanted them to go. And the surprise that sometimes you feel lonely, and the surprise that, you fight over little things and big things. And I think that those surprises are part of what creates, more pain than necessary. If you started to think of your relationship as a means of spiritual growth and a means of spiritual development, and you started looking at your spouse as a person who was equally struggling as much as you are to figure out the meaning of this life. And I don't mean intellectually, I mean really spiritually, in their heart. If you could understand that your spouse is struggling too, your spouse is struggling with their iman, they're struggling to know their place with Allah, they're struggling to get to Jannah, and you're struggling, and you're both fumbling, but somewhere in that fumbling, you're supposed to come together, and that love is supposed to be what you bring to support each other and to make a safe space for each other to fumble and to fail and to fall down, but to get back up again. To grab hands, to hug each other, to forgive each other, and to make space for each other, just to explore your dreams and to explore your wishes and the things that you want in your life. Love is all about creating this connection and safe space. And when you have that, you also will have the other important things like attraction and sexual intimacy and fun and playfulness. But if your narrative has been that love should always be happy, should always feel good, there should always be harmony in any way, then of course you can imagine that there's going to be a lot more pain that you're experiencing. So I want to invite you today just to reconsider the narrative you've been telling yourself about your marriage, and the narrative you've been, listening to in your mind or following, or the, information you've taken in, whether from TV, movies, people, culture, whatever it is, and ask yourself, do I have a narrative that supports the idea that marriage is a spiritual journey? It's a place of growth. It's a place of challenge and laughter and fun and happiness. But do I allow myself and my spouse the space to look at our relationship as a place where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to, test us and ask us to grow and know each other better and to know ourselves better? When you start to make that shift and shift in your focus, a lot of other things shift too. So consider that just kind of your deep thought for today, and see how it compares to maybe some of the things you've been focusing on, and let me know what you think. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.